Hello, my name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. Norah joining me?
Hi.
Hello, Norah. How have you been?
Pretty good.
Staying cool, I hope.
Well, trying to without an air conditioner.
That's the difficult part, but at least you're not here in Arizona.
I know.
We're going to be talking about something you shouldn't be doing in the heat, unless you're keeping yourself hydrated, which is running.
Yeah.
This week, we're going to review the game Antro, developed by Gatera Studios, published by Selecta Play and Gatera Studios. They have made this game that is sort of a post-apocalyptic kind of rhythm running game. It's got interesting rap music in the background and in Spanish. Antro, it's a slang term for an underground dance club. Let me just read the description that they have in my promotional material here. Journey through the most remote places in the underground metropolis of Antro. Your mission is to deliver a package with an unknown recipient and, while you're at it, overthrow the totalitarian government of La Cúpula.
La Cúpula.
L-A-C-U with a little accented on it. P-U-L-A. La Cúpula.
Okay.
I feel like such a poser when I try and pronounce Spanish. Play to the rhythm of urban music in this adventure full of action, puzzles, and 2D platforming. After the collapse, humankind has been forced to live underground. It's estimated that only 1% of the world population has survived. Under the old city of Barcelona stands Antro, a dirty and dark hole divided into geographical strata where the inhabitants of the lowest levels fight for survival, doing forced labor, while the ones in the highest levels rule over the new underground world. It gives a little bit more information about the totalitarian government and how art, life, music, freedom of speech, censored, all that 1984 style stuff.
Right.
Dive into Antro to the rhythm of hip-hop, drill, R&B, and electronic music. I have never heard the descriptor drill. Have you heard that before? I'm gonna look that up.
No. Not unless it comes with like drum and bugle core things. Or bagpipes, pipes and drums.
Drill music is a subgenre of hip-hop that originated in Chicago.
Oh.
In the early 2010s. It is characterized by its dark, violent, and often nihilistic lyrics reflecting the realities of gang life, drug use, and violence in some urban communities. The music often incorporates aggressive beats and rhythms influenced by trap and gangster rap. Okay, it's just basically urban music.
Yeah.
And you get little bits and pieces of your life growing up with what I'm assuming is your sister, who is sort of raising you and tells you to not stop listening to your music.
Oh.
Because it is inspiration and it's not something that the society allows anymore, is my guess.
Wow. From the little review thing I saw, I did not get any of that except delivering the package.
Okay.
Oppressive society.
And delivering the package.
Yeah. Why did it say El Salvador? You never mentioned El Salvador, but it said El Salvador in the thing. It was near the beginning. Up at the top, it was like in neon lights going around.
It was in the environment. It said El Salvador.
Yes.
I see it now. It was on the signage within there.
Yeah, right.
It was like on a rotating thing. So I'm guessing it could be like roads or a neighborhood, the name of a neighborhood. Or
okay.
That's a good catch. El Salvador would be kind of
and it really just I didn't understand it because of El Salvador. It's an oppressive system. Okay.
And perhaps that is the reason why they used it, to drive that home.
Yeah.
They put that on the signage. What were your first thoughts watching the trailer as far as the game itself? I mean, did you come up with anything as far as what it is or what you expect it to be?
I think so. First of all, neon and also steel frames and stuff. It reminded me of Blade Runner a little, like that was my first impression. It's post-apocalyptic, as you said.
Right.
And I got that impression. Okay, eventually I got I understood that this guy that looked like a nice guy compared to the bad guys.
Compared to the robots and other things.
Had a package that he had to deliver. So basically my impression was if he's like a FedEx employee trying to deliver an important package to someone, or society.
Right.
And assuming he has to dodge, all the quote bad guys and bad stuff. And so the game to me, just from the little bit that I saw, was him trying to get through a bunch of bad things. The games I play, simple little things. However, one thing I don't like in my game is having to escape or thwart a fragmentary piece of enemy. I just want to play my game.
Okay.
So if occasionally you have to, sure, of course. But if it's the whole game, it's like, no, that would just make me crazy. Norah, it would make me crazy. It's not my cup of tea.
Right. The genre is called a runner. And there have been different perspectives runners, but essentially what it involves is you're automatically running. That's what you're doing. And you have to dodge by jumping or sliding underneath things or moving left or right. Sometimes they're vertical where you're running forward. In this case, you're running in two-dimensional space, right?
Yeah.
Those running sequences are set to these musical numbers that are the hip hop rap. What's really cool about that is I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what they're saying. You can turn on the subtitles. The only problem with turning on the subtitles is you're running and you're trying to dodge and hit things with your stick and read at the same time.
Right.
But I mean, I do appreciate the fact that they put those in there because that's really a cool feature.
Yeah.
And the music, what did you think of the music? I know it's not your kind of music.
It fit the situation, I think.
Yeah.
In that case, I thought it was okay, appropriate.
Also with these running sequences, if you reach a spot where it's difficult to pass, you have to start all the way over at the beginning. And some of those can get annoying as far as being able to determine those. It kind of reminded me of Sayonara Wild Hearts, but Sayonara Wild Hearts is a very distinct style that is reminiscent of vector graphics. It's got a 3-4 color scheme to the artwork where they're all like stencil-y looking. And it also has beautiful music. But as far as the automatic running component, it's doing that for you, going automatically forward the entire time, but you just basically move your ship or move your person back and forth to collect things. You're collecting things. In Antro, you're not really collecting things. You're just running to get to your destination.
Yeah.
And once you finish a segment, you're done. I think Antro did a very good job of making your button presses very much in time with the music and the beat. As you press the button to jump, it feels like if you don't know exactly when to, it kind of leads you to that. It does have little bits where in between levels, sometimes there is, you wander around. It's sort of a platform thing where you're trying to figure out where to get to the next running sequence. Those are very small, almost throwaway. It's just kind of a rest in between levels kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Another sequence that's kind of a rest between levels are these doors. You approach a little console and it gives you a sequence of buttons that you have to press in time in order to open the door. It's all the buttons on the PlayStation controller. It's the O, the X, the triangle, and the square. And it has a melody too, but in order for you to proceed, you have to do it perfectly. I thought it slowed down the pace a little too much. It was like, yeah, I'm sitting here and I have to just get this thing, nail it in order to move on to the next segment, which I know is a part of the game.
Right.
But I almost would have preferred them add more running segments than try and put that in there. I don't think it was really necessary as far as an intermediary.
Yeah.
Maybe add a little bit more to the segments where you were exploring the area as far as where to go next and looking for the various hidden objects and whatnot.
Right.
Or places where you can spray your tag for the revolution.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
If the runner doesn't thwart his enemies. If the enemies get the best of him, what happens? Do you go back to the beginning?
It does give you a little bit of leeway as far as life. You can make one or two mistakes.
Yeah, okay.
But if you make more than a couple consecutively, it'll send you back to the beginning of that level or level segment.
Oh, okay. So not all the way back to the very beginning.
No, not all the way back to the very beginning of the game. No, all the way back to the beginning of a level. There are little cut scenes in between some of the segments that it'll put you back to that point instead. Like an extra long level, they don't send you all the way back to the beginning. But there were some that did. It was kind of inconsistent, but
yeah,
I completed it in about 2 to 3 hours. And it was a fun little experience. Like I said, I'm comparing it to Sayonara Wild Hearts, which just hit it out of the park as far as that kind of rhythm collecting runner kind of game. It had all sorts of different kinds of levels that used essentially the same formula, but it had a lot more variety than Antro did. I know it's supposed to be a very small experience, but I think they could have done with a little bit more polish. It was a good game. I'm glad I played it.
Right.
I don't know if I would say you have to play it, but if you like rhythm games and you like unique electronic dance music and rap music, then I would say check it out.
The music is very interesting. I had, in the 60 seconds I saw, I didn't, of course, get that, but that makes it really interesting, the music part of it.
And the rap, too. It's all thematically about this underground society in this post-apocalyptic world where you've got your state-run police raiding because they want to take it over or control it. In the trailer also, they had those mouths on the screen, and that kind of gave me 1984 vibes, where it was like there were faces and mouths on the screen telling you stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I thought that too.
They nailed the setting, I think, and I did enjoy my time with the game, even though it was short.
But the game itself is not for me, but that's because I don't like being chased. In my games, it's like, I just don't like that. But I can see others. I can see it being a good game for others.
Yep, exactly. So that is the final verdict. If you like rap music, if you want a unique experience, if you want more of an artistic experience, I can't say that the story was the most compelling thing in the world, but did have a mix of about as much parkour as you can have in a 2D game, too.
Okay.
It's like, you're running on walls and jumping. There is one sequence where you have to go through some gas, which is hallucinogenic.
Oh.
Then you end up running on the ceiling in weird ways and running up walls and stuff, which is kind of disorienting, but it's part of the experience.
Yeah.
And there are things that you got to figure out how to get past during your platform segments. Things where you've got to run behind fans so you don't get blown off your platform.
Right.
It is impressive. And if these folks make a larger game, I would be interested in playing it. I just think that it needed to be a little bit larger and a little bit more New Game Plus kind of features. But I understand it's an indie game. Let's close it unless you have anything else to say about dance clubs, your time in the dance clubs.
No, I have nothing more to say.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this review of Antro. My name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
Welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. Norah joins me for another review episode on one of her favorite television shows, Cop Rock. Did you ever see Cop Rock?
I may have. I don't know. But I watched a lot of police shows.
Stephen Bochco. Bochco.
Yeah, Bochco or maybe Bachco. Who knows?
Stephen B.
Stephen B., yeah.
Who actually was one of the creators of Hill Street Blues, which is one of the more popular ones.
Ah.
And William M. Finkelstein, they wanted to do a musical episode of Hill Street Blues, which would have been super trippy anyway. But then they decided to pitch this idea of having a show that was like Hill Street Blues, but the musical. And
wow.
It never, it came out in 1990.
Oh.
There were only 11 episodes. It was just the same as like a Hill Street Blues, except with musical numbers, which honestly, looking back on it, way ahead of its time as far as the popularity of those musical type of shows. There was High School Musical and things where they started to get that kind of traction. Maybe it would have been successful if it came out later. It's got some cheesy songs in it, by the way.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
Anyway, it's not about cop rock, though.
Didn't get that impression.
Oh, who's the guy that runs Disney currently?
I don't know. They change so often.
Okay. It was Bob Iger back between 2012 and 2021.
Okay, yeah.
But anyway, Bob Iger was the one who greenlit Cop Rock. So just to let you know that was it was his idea.
No wonder he didn't stay well.
Well, I don't know. He lasted a good 9 years at Disney, so.
Right.
We are going to talk about, this is sort of inverse or reverse Grand Theft Auto. It is a game called The Precinct, designed by Fallen Tree Games and published by Kwalee, Kwalee. So they made this game that was very much a 1980s feel police. What would you call that genre? It's a sort of a police procedural?
Procedural? Yeah, I guess everybody likes the word procedural. A cop show, a police show.
A police drama, they say too.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's supposed to kind of feel like a 1980s when you get introduced into the game. They nailed the sound as far as feeling like 80s music, because throughout the game, all the different musical pieces sound straight from the 80s in a good way.
I've got some in my head right now, but I'll leave them there.
Yeah, exactly. You belong to the... Anyway, in the promotional material here is the description about the Precinct. You are Nick Cordell Jr. as a rookie beat cop fresh out of the academy. You're on the front line of defense for Averno's citizens. Dive into a world of thrilling car chases, sandbox crimes, and a healthy dose of 1980s noir as you protect the populace and solve the mystery of your father's murder in the line of duty.
Yeah.
It says, Take to the Streets, a love letter to classic cop movies, and dare I say, classic cop television shows.
Right.
The Precinct combines police sim with action sandbox spectacle. That's not the right.
Okay.
It's not English. But anyway, patrol the streets and respond to call-outs to fight crime, petty and powerful. Choose your own tactics in thrilling chases and shootouts. Feel the shifting power struggles of Averno's gangs in a living city full of sandbox crimes. They keep on using this sandbox thing.
Yeah.
From parking infractions to bank heists, street racing, to drug deals. That is it.
Okay.
It says key features: explore a vibrant living city by foot, squad car, and helicopter. Respond to, again, the sandbox crimes, ranging from parking violations to gang shootouts. Engage in intense vehicle chases throughout destructible environments, which is what I've been doing most of, is driving the cars. Go it alone or call in backup with an in-depth support system. Investigate the gangs who rule the city and the dark conspiracies keeping them in control. And then it says day/night cycle with dynamic weather.
Okay. Interesting.
You watched the trailer.
Yes.
And you decided you belong to the city, you belong to the night. No.
I do.
What were your thoughts on the trailer that you saw?
Well, first impression, like a TV police show. And I'm sure some movies, but I just see it as TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked good, like if you wanted to be a policeman or you enjoy police shows. First of all, I always wanted to be a policeman when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
So it was very interesting,
Hmm.
and it looked like fun. One of their quotes in there was being a policeman only to end up either on the take or in a casket. I like that.
That sounds very dramatic, doesn't it?
Yes, yes, yes. Since I like police stuff, it looked like it could be interesting to play. I'd probably play it if I had the right equipment or make an attempt at it.
Here's the thing with the game itself. You start out with limited weapons, limited vehicles, limited things like that. As you make your arrests of the various crimes, you earn experience points, which level you up as far as your rank. And then that also gives you points that you can unlock additional powers or perks. For example, one of them is when you're running, you have a limited amount of endurance.
Just like real.
Exactly. One of the powers that you unlock is when you get to a point where your endurance is running out, a little line moves back and forth. And if you press it while it's in the collapsing spot, it'll boost it so you can continue running. That's one of the things you can unlock. You can unlock more weapons. You can unlock more vehicle combat things. It's got a lot of different police activities that you can do around the city in this isometric 3D kind of looking city. What did you think about the way the city looked and how it was oriented? Did that bother you at all? Or
No, it didn't bother me, but it looked like it was all negative spaces. And I don't mean that artistically. I mean, they were all places that I saw where gangs would hang out.
Yeah.
Where there was dubious things happening.
Right.
That kind of thing. And I didn't see anything else of the city except the police station.
Okay. You didn't see the bridges that connect the segments of the city. There are bridges.
Oh, no, I didn't notice that. No, they might have been there.
They did a pretty good job of designing the city and the way it worked. You start your day, you pick a shift that you want. You've got walking shifts that you just walk your beat. So you drive your squad car with your partner to a location and then you walk around and you get little calls on your radio. You stop people who are doing shady sales or burglaries or even littering. You can find people who are parked illegally and give them tickets. You can even give people who aren't parked illegally tickets, but then you get experience points subtracted. When you stop someone, you can question them. You can run their license or run their ID. When cars are involved and driving is involved, you can check the breathalyzer. You can also check their car. If they're suspicious driver, you can see what's in the back of their trunk. Sometimes they will try and run away from you. There's too much crime going on in the city to be a realistic sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it is sort of a fun area to look around and explore. And as you bust these criminals, you'll have to use your gun. If they shoot at you, you're not allowed to use your gun on someone who hasn't shot at you, or you'll get penalized for that. It'll tell you what sort of level of force you're allowed to use. You can tackle people who are running away. There are also car chases that you can get involved with because sometimes they'll carjack someone and you can jump into the car and chase them and try and knock them off the road, which can be difficult because, boy, they drive pretty crazy. The helicopter segments are interesting because all you've got to do is keep the spotlight on them and follow them around. And there's really not much more that you can do other than call in support. So I don't know if there was anything better that they could have done to make the helicopter piece a little bit more exciting, or maybe just keep it as a component for the story itself, like, little story missions that kind of make it a little bit different.
Yeah.
But flying around in the helicopter and just putting the spotlight on people, I mean, it isn't very compelling, but it's part of one of the many tasks you can do.
If you're doing that and highlighting the criminal, is there a group of other police that are going to apprehend the criminal?
Yes.
Okay.
You use the radio to call them in. And this also happens with the cars, too. As you have the spotlight on, you earn little segments of a bar that fills up.
Okay.
Different support methods take more points, more bars from this thing that fills up. But as you are either chasing someone successfully and keeping up with them or keeping the spotlight on them, it allows you to call in backup. And as you get more experience, you can unlock different forms of backup that you can call in. You can even, when you get to the point where you have to arrest a perp,
right.
you can either put them in your squad car and then escort them to your police station, or you can call in someone to pick them up. There's also that option.
Okay.
The arresting thing is really detailed. You can add infractions, but I do the easiest, which is just have my partner take care of all the stuff. It's a lot more fun that way to me. If you want to charge them for different things, that's fine. But I would rather just have fun with the game and then let him take care of that.
Right.
Do you have any other questions about like the general gameplay and what's involved?
Not really, because, I need more than the review I saw. I don't know. It just, and from what you're saying, it really looks like something I'd want to try and something I probably could do to some extent.
Well, there are things in there like gunfights too, and that's the part that's a little bit difficult. There's a taser too, so if you want to tase people instead of shoot them,
yeah.
But in a group of people that all have guns, there's a point at which you need to use a gun. If you take them down, if you kill them, you gain experience points by putting them in a body bag.
Oh.
To cover them up and then have whoever pick up the dead bodies later.
Right.
If you get called to a gang fight and they start shooting at you and you eliminate some of them, you still get credit for taking care of the gang fight.
Right.
It's just that when deadly force is warranted, that's when you can use your gun. And then you get more guns. You can swap out your guns. At the beginning of your shift, you pick which type of shift you want, whether it's a patrol, whether it's speeding, whether it's the helicopter. They give you a good variety. It's not real time, but it is sped up.
It's a game, so.
And so, yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly. It is fun. Throughout the game, people that you arrest and stuff will drop evidence. And there are 2 gangs in the city. As you collect evidence, it builds you up to the story beats of those different gangs. So, for example, you've got I think they're the serpents or something, right? You collect 10 bits, and then you can face off against or question the lieutenant of that gang. So that advances the story. And then you collect 10, 20 more pieces of evidence for that gang, and then that allows you to go the next step. And then it's the same for the other gang, and that's how the story progresses, is through those tracks. There are some things as you go along that the detectives have you investigate while you're in your mission, but it's part of the story unfolding as far as figuring out these perpetrators and what they're doing.
Right.
And discovering the big secret of who is responsible for this.
Is the main thing about the gangs the main purpose?
Not exactly. There are various crimes in the city, but yeah, there are gangs, and the story revolves around the gangs involved in crime.
Okay.
So that's generally how there's someone who's eliminating different people who are informants that you'll come across during your missions when you're radioed to go to a specific location. Like, for example, there was one where someone was hung out to dry, kind of thing, like from electrical cords.
Okay.
Looking for the evidence, you didn't really have to investigate. You just had to walk up to objects and see if you could look at them. And it had 3 different ones.
Okay.
So it was sort of a gatekeeping way to tell you about the story, but it just wasn't really all that fun. There wasn't any fun to that.
Okay, right. You just walk up and
look at the stuff, and then that's it. I mean, it's, not very much investigation is needed. They've got some things that are hidden items throughout the city that are these safes that you've got to open, which makes very little sense for the main story. Early on in the game, they tell you that they want you to go undercover as one of these street racers. So then you'll have missions where you can engage in street racing and race against other cars. With the, you'd want to win the race to advance that part of the story.
Interesting.
I mean, it does have a decent variety of stuff, but the story itself is sort of, it feels very throwaway. It doesn't really make me feel like I'm investigating anything. or really having an impact as it relates to something like a Hill Street Blues or an episodic thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have been a way to kind of do away with that, maybe put more structure, but I think the focus was on making it more of an open world than anything else.
Yeah.
Once again, the sandbox misnomer. Now, generally, when you have a sandbox game, it's something like Minecraft, where you can build, you can create things. You're actually having some sort of a control over your environment. You pick what you want to do, but it's usually involved in building things, changing the environment that way. It's not this, which is an open world for you to explore. That's not a sandbox.
Okay.
That's just an open world.
Oh.
This game is more of an open world. It's not a sandbox. I wouldn't call it a sandbox. You're choosing what things you want to do and which people to arrest and which things that you're called in on, but it has nothing to do with sandbox. You're not really building anything. You're not really creating anything.
Okay. But you also don't have to go down a specific route.
Correct. That's where the open world overlap lies.
When I read about sandbox, because I wasn't sure about it, my impression was that it was that you didn't have to go a specific way until you achieve this thing, then you get into the next thing and you go a certain way. It was that you could jump to this or that, this game, that game. And if it said anything about building, I didn't remember reading that. So to me, it sounds like a sandbox game in that you don't have to do things in a certain way. You can go to this or maybe go to that or do this or be that.
Yeah, there could be a better descriptor, but if you think of a sandbox, it starts out, it's nothing.
Yeah.
You build the sandcastles. You put the figures in there and you do that kind of world building yourself.
Yeah.
And yes, as far as any kind of thing, you're choosing what to build and how to put it into your universe. The thing is, open world games, that freedom of do whatever you want whenever, that's an open world game.
Okay.
You don't have one story, you've got side quests that you can do or not do.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily do that. You can just wander around the forest, harvest berries.
That's interesting.
Let me ask Gemini what their definition is. Here we go. Sandbox game is a type of video game that provides a virtual world with minimal predefined objectives, allowing players a high degree of freedom to explore, create, interact with the environment. Unlike traditional games with linear storylines, sandbox games offer open-ended gameplay where player choices shape the experience. Differences between sandbox and open world games: open-ended gameplay. Sandbox games don't force the player down specific paths, allowing them to create their own goals and objectives, as opposed to open world, which does have quest lines, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Creative freedom. Players can build, modify, and interact with the game world in various ways, fostering creativity and experimentation. Exploration. Sandbox games often feature large open worlds that players can freely explore without strict boundaries. That's the overlap that I'm talking about, where if you refer to something as an open world, that's what that is. While some sandbox games may have optional quests and goals, they generally don't impose rigid sequences of tasks that players must complete. Games like Minecraft, Terraria, Grand Theft Auto are often cited as examples of sandbox games. I would disagree with Grand Theft Auto because that's where we get into this whole what is sandbox, what is open world. I would call that an open world game, not a sandbox game.
Oh, that's interesting. That they have similarities.
Oh,
definitely. There needs to be a somehow to specify the difference or something.
To me, the difference is creating. If you're creating and modifying and experimenting with game world, not with ways that you play in the environment, but with actual things that you design somehow, or you build,
right,
or you do anything like that. That to me is a sandbox. Open world focuses on exploring freedom of movement, whereas sandbox emphasizes player creativity and customization.
Okay.
That's how I think of sandbox versus open world. And there is overlap, right?
Yeah.
It's often confused, and that's every time I hear sandbox used as a descriptor, I don't want to pull my hair out, but at the same time, I want to correct it.
Yeah.
As far as a place to play, yes, it's a sandbox with a sandcastle and everything already built, which is unheard of. So it's not really a sandbox, it's an open world game.
Yeah, I see that.
So sorry for going down that little rant.
Well, no, it actually made me think, oh, I interpreted it correctly then when you read yeah.
To me, the big difference between a sandbox and an open world game, the big difference is the creativity component. Are you doing something to utilize your creativity to build things?
Right.
And that's not something you're doing in Grand Theft Auto. That's not something you're doing in this game. You're playing in an environment, but that doesn't make it a sandbox. That makes it just an open world environment.
Right. I see. Yeah, I do see that.
Let me just say, I had fun with it. It's probably not a game I'm going to continue, but I can see where people could pick it up in an arcade style way and just blast away and arrest people and unlock things. It feels arcadey in that way to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
You don't necessarily have to play by the storyline. You can just go around and do your things in this environment, arrest people, shoot them, stop cars. As far as the technical, it does it very well. Even the races, there are bits where you can find jumps, where you can jump your vehicle, which is ridiculous, but, you can do that.
Yeah. Bullitt.
Yeah, like Bullitt. Right.
Yeah.
Any other questions or?
No, it looked interesting, and I'd probably try it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you might enjoy it. For me, the story is more important in general.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like an arcade game is fun. I can pick it up and put it down and play. I don't know how much longer. I think I played about 8 to 10 hours total of it just to see how the progression worked and things. And, it's okay. And it is for some people. It isn't my cup of tea. Just like Grand Theft Auto isn't my cup of tea. Going around and taking drugs and pulling women into cars. One constructive thing I wish really would have nailed it for me. It could have made it more fun for me to play, and I guess I could do this on my own, but I wish it had like a real 80s soundtrack. And that's where a game like Grand Theft Auto, with a company that has the money, they can buy the licensing for various songs. So they put that in their soundtracks, and that really kind of pulls you in.
Right. Right.
But as far as the original music for this game, it was wonderful. Visually, pretty darn good. Just not my kind of game as far as the gameplay overall, but
right.
If you like cops.
I always wanted to be one.
Exactly. If you always wanted to arrest someone, then you could play this game. So,
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Norah, for joining us. And thank you, audience. My name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. Norah joining me on our own savage planet, Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not talk about our own planet, weather and otherwise.
Yeah, don't want to go there.
We're here to review and talk about the game Revenge of the Savage Planet. It's a sequel to Journey to the Savage Planet.
Oh.
One of the big differences between this one and the original one is the fact that the original one was in the first-person perspective. This one is in third-person perspective and has a little bit more of a focus on a team element. Developed and published by Raccoon Logic. So here's the description they gave me in the promotional materials. Revenge of the Savage Planet. Welcome to the Pioneer Program. In a future knocked off its axis by corporate greed and stupidity, too soon. You have been made redundant and abandoned on the far edge of space with little gear and no safety net. You must explore every nook and cranny, collect dozens of upgrades, and turn over every mysterious alien rock if you want to get revenge on your former employer and return to Earth. Yikes. Across multiple planets through myriad challenges, you will be tasked with exploring and understanding these beautiful alien worlds. There are plants to scan, creatures to capture, lakes to swim, caves to spelunk, mountains to climb, upgrades to craft, and hundreds of secrets to uncover. It says dynamic co-op, play with your best friend, partner, or hellspawn on or between any platform. Or better still, experience the nostalgia-tinged joy of sitting on the same couch and playing on the same screen with someone you love. Like the olden days when the world was young and we were happy. Jeez. Wow.
Well, somebody must have been watching the news.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can cut that.
Well, no. Once I get into the brief segment on the development of this game, you'll kind of get an idea of why they may be taking this kind of slant. As you're instructed by your little droid counterpart, you've got to complete missions, but in this open world, there are also other sort of side quests that you can do to get new weapons, upgrade your current weapons, build things. You've got this little thing that's basically a 3D printer. You print all your objects, but you need the plans first. In fact, you get 3D printed when you die back in your base.
Oh.
You watched the trailer.
Yes.
Do you have any questions based on what you saw?
So many.
Oh, okay.
First of all, I did not see the purpose of the game, but then when you read the rundown thing, I understand it.
Yeah.
There's so much I didn't get from the trailer, but I still liked it.
Okay.
Because the cartoon characters, they made it like friendly. Isn't that strange? And like when the alarm clock goes off, above that, there's a sign that says, a neon sign, I think, that says, duh. I'd like to get one of those signs myself.
It does have some humor to it.
Right. And then the robot, I guess he is, I don't know, runs the blender, and you see it blending, and then it gives him pills, of course, which he throws at his helmet to start his day. Now, this kept going on and on. Is it a Groundhog Day sort of thing, or is it different?
It's a Groundhog Day thing insofar as you go out in your world, you explore, you collect your resources, and find these secrets, and different powers can let you get into different areas of different planets and so on and so forth. But, when you die, you just start over at your base. Deathloop, that is one where you're dying over and over and over again, but it's the same day that you're playing through, and this is not that.
Oh, okay.
I can see where the trailer gave you that impression, where it was like a time loop kind of thing.
Okay. Is it a robot? Or is it a person in a robot suit?
The humanoid?
Yeah.
You don't really know because you don't take off your helmet.
Okay.
But I would be guessing it's a humanoid of some sort. You've got a robot companion that follows you around. That's, just like a little floating box.
Okay.
Yeah, that talks to you. And once you find plans and resources and printer cartridges to print various objects, you can have it detect things and do things above and beyond the base things it does. You have to look through and find these different animals and get the samples to your robot, who will dissect them and put them back together. You got to figure out the ways to capture certain animals. You use your scanner to scan all the different objects in the environment. It's kind of a wireframe thing. When you put your little scanner on, it'll show you objects are in orange, which are the ones that you haven't scanned yet, and the ones in blue you've scanned. So it can tell you about your environment and different animals and their weaknesses and things. So I think they did a really good job of making this an accessible, albeit short, sort of experience. But a lot of different things you can uncover and go back to different planets and figure out where things are hidden. because your different powers come at different points in time. Like the first planet I was on, there's a spot where I have to slam through a little bit of a platform, but I don't have that power yet until I go to the ice planet and battle that boss.
After this humanoid gets chased by dinosaurs or whatever, they fall into what looks like a desert.
Yeah.
Okay, what does the desert represent? That he's dead, defeated?
I'm not sure. I don't know if that's where your bodies are sent to. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense because there is a desert biome, but I haven't come across a pile of my own bodies yet.
Okay. Because it kept happening in the trailer.
Right. It did have some gameplay, split screen and otherwise, but it really didn't get to the core of what you're doing on that world.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's beautiful. Graphically, it looks pretty darn good on the PlayStation 5. I was really impressed with the way it looked.
Okay.
And it's got platforming elements, as in you've got to figure out how to get up to or get through things based on what powers you've unlocked and what you can unlock later. And there's certain component boxes that will unlock powers that are on different planets. But you still have to kill and capture animals to collect research and resources. So it's got a lot of variety as far as the different things that you can do. I just unlocked a thing where it's a gun that's got a lava attachment.
Oh.
So you can plug it into little lava dispenser things and it burns things up.
Yeah.
There's also an electrical puzzle that you had to solve that involves this fluid. You have to spray it on the environment to get from a thing that produces electricity to something else to activate a biological switch of some sort that will open doors. Those types of things they add as you're going along. I'm still trying to find my stomp power, which will allow me to get to the next main story item along with some other hidden areas that I haven't found yet.
Yeah.
There are these orange eggs that you find.
Do you eat them the same way they eat their pills in the morning?
Exactly. You just throw it in your helmet. Yeah. The animations are cute and weird and funny too. It's because it's like you stick your head into the big orange blob thing that looks almost like an alien egg from the Alien series,
Yes, yes.
Do you have any questions about the gameplay based on what you saw?
No, because I didn't understand what you were doing. The humanoid was always
dying,
getting ready to going out and dying. It's like if they're supposed to overcome or beat these beings, they're not doing a very good job of it, from what the trailer said.
Yeah. And honestly, the gameplay loop isn't as repetitive as that. I think it's supposed to tell you that you're going to die multiple times and that's okay, kind of thing.
Okay.
It would be a pretty awesome Easter egg if you found a pile of your own bodies in the desert. That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I got to the planet that's the frozen planet that I'm trying to get through.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just a matter of exploring. Sometimes the missions involve a boss fight or two, but it's not a main part of the game other than you're exploring and then you get to a part where you fight a giant worm. And that's where I got a tuning fork that I can pull magnetic stalactites and stalagmites and throw them at things. So that's kind of helpful.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's a game that would be more fun with people. I would like to play this with someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like the way the split screen looks. Personally, I prefer a horizontal, so you can see your entire environment or more of your environment than just that sliver.
Yeah, I get that.
And different companies can do it different ways. At first, the social commentary was a little bit off-putting.
Oh.
When you go back to your abode or whatever, there are these commercials that are similar to the future commercials that they show in RoboCop. I don't know if you saw RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like these fake commercials, all sorts of things that are anti-consumerism and kind of making fun of that. It gets old pretty quickly for me. If I'm playing a game, I don't want to think about that stuff. I want to think about just having fun.
Yeah.
I think they would have been better served sticking with the slapstick stuff and maybe not focusing too much on trying to deliver their message that big corporations like Google, they don't like them.
Yeah, right.
Do you have any questions before I move on to describing the situation with the development of this game?
I don't have questions about the game because basically I'd have to know a lot more about it. But one of the things I liked in the trailer was they had a little quote that said, "Entertain yourselves to death," which I thought was funny because there was so much dying.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's got those clever bits in it, but that doesn't tell you what the game is about.
Exactly.
And I think these trailers, a lot of times, they try and make it a flashy statement more than they try to tell you about the game.
Yeah.
Which for someone like me is okay because I can pick up the little hints as to what kind of game it is.
Right.
Not so much for someone who's not as experienced with playing these types of games. But let me go back to the development of this game because to me, it's very, very interesting.
Yes.
And I can totally understand the hostility here. So Typhoon Studios developed Journey to the Savage Planet. They were shut down by Google in 2021. Google, they were hiring on game developers and things to make games. They had this device. The name of this product was Stadia. I don't know if you ever heard me talk about it.
No.
But essentially what Google Stadia was a device that you would use to play your games from a server farm somewhere. You just stream the games to your system.
Okay.
The problem with that is not everyone has the best internet, so that is not a viable option for everyone.
Right.
There was a lack of interest. There was some distrust with Google and how this thing would work. There were some missteps as far as the device itself, delivering the device and over-promising and under-delivering. A lot of the games that they said would work were not as good as the console is. The key component is you need a solid internet connection to run this.
Right.
When they shut down Typhoon Studios because they decided they were going to shut down production on Google Stadia, the whole team at Typhoon, they were let go, but they reorganized themselves as an independent game studio called Raccoon Logic.
Okay.
They negotiated with Google and publisher 505 Games to maintain control of the Savage Planet intellectual property. That's the time that they were developing. It was developed by a team of 30 people. The game's unusual development inspired its comedic tone, described by director Alex Hutchinson as optimistic yet funny dystopia. It doesn't seem that way because the focus seems to be more on making fun of the rich. I kind of get it, but it seems heavy-handed to me.
Right.
The team was also inspired by the 22 to 25 video game industry layoffs. The story served as a satire on late-stage capitalism. The show Silicon Valley also influenced the game's humor. I do understand the tone and the storytelling as far as that's concerned, but I don't think it needs the commercials hitting you in the face with these things. I understand what they were going for, but that humor didn't land with me. But the goofy, silly humor, that definitely did land.
Right.
You know?
Definitely.
And then also the whole thing where you're exploring and trying to figure out where to get all the different items and unlock all the different things. It's a fun little platforming exercise, right? You don't have to do the things in order. You can discover your different missions and unlockables and things. There was one that I found, I only got one of them done because I guess there's one on each planet, but there's this experimental bait and you have to figure out what the different side effects of the bait is.
Oh.
So if you throw the bait out in the middle of a pool of animals or whatever, they'll eat the bait, but then they'll turn into amber and explode.
Okay.
It just seems like a fun game to play with people.
I could see.
And I may continue playing it because I'm having fun with the escapist kind of nature of it. It is something that I feel like I can put it down and pick it back up again. It's not that super difficult to remember all the different things. It's a lot of shooting and running and dodging, but it's pretty easy to assign all your powers to the quick access area. There's like a water hose that you have where you have to use it to clean slime off of things. And then it also will stun flying enemies. That's how you can rope them with your little whip. You get a little electrical whip lasso thing. Between shooting and that is how you defeat animals in the environment and also capture them and stun them in some cases.
It's too bad. I only watched this one trailer. Maybe if I had watched some others, maybe it would tell me more. I found it amusing and cute and all that, but it didn't give me any idea of what the game was. because the guy was always running from worms and dinosaurs and stuff like that, and then being defeated.
I totally agree. Let's see if there's a gameplay trailer. Oh, here we go. This will give you a good idea. Okay, I'm going to send you this one really quick so you can watch it.
Okay. Watch it now?
Yeah, watch it now.
Okay.
Because it'll also give you an idea about the humor part of it that I was talking about. And after you get past the nonsensical commercial stuff.
First, I have to look at a commercial. Raccoon. Okay. The sound is not. No, that's okay. It's got subtitles. Oh, and I even see the little robot box, which I hadn't seen before. Okay. Ooh. They fall in the desert and don't die. Okay. Yeah, it definitely had, I mean, you get a little more idea about it, other than people just being defeated.
Dying over and over and over again. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the gameplay. It doesn't show you like mining the resources or anything, but killing the animals or capturing them and zapping them into the little thing. You got a peek at the worm that I battled against.
Yes.
With my tuning fork. And there were things in there that I haven't gotten yet. I haven't gotten that floaty parachute. I do have the double jump, but I don't have the parachute piece of it yet. I mean, there are different things you can unlock, and then those things will allow you to get to different other areas as you're exploring and trying to get everything unlocked. So did that look any better to you, even though it was 2 minutes long? Did that give you more of an idea of? It
did, even though, I mean, I'm not a player of these kind of games generally. It was better. Now, the thing is, this is a second Savage Planet. So that means people looking at the trailer that I saw likely have played the first one, Journey to the Savage Planet. So they wouldn't need as much explanation.
No. You know, even if I played that game, I would still want to know what the gameplay looks like more than I would want to know what the story looks like.
Yeah.
Because I'll find out what the story looks like when I play it. And maybe I'll get little bits from the trailer, but it's a game at the end of the day, and I want to see the game in action. What am I signing up for by playing this? I don't want to see sequences that are cutscenes or anything like that. And you saw those strange commercials at the beginning, right? With the burger squirts and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
I get it, but those are playing all the time in your basic area.
Oh, okay.
You unlock resources that will allow you to build your custom area for hanging out in, but there's no other reason other than it's just decorative. You buy furniture and stuff and you can decorate your little interior space, but it doesn't seem to have any impact at all on the game. So it's just basically cosmetics.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that is sandboxy, is you buy items and put them in your house.
Yeah. If you want.
Yeah, if you want. Right. And I don't. I got my double-decker bed in my bedroom. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else decorating. I just play the game for fun. So
yeah.
So anyway, my final verdict on it is there are people who will enjoy it. I think it's definitely a game that is better for two people to play at the same time, be that online or
on a couch.
Yeah. That's my thought on it. I think I'll continue playing it. Unlike some games, this one, I might finish all the way through it. It's that much fun. I am having fun with the different mechanics of it.
Right.
And it is kind of refreshing. It's one of those ones where I can pick up, play it a little bit, and then put it down again.
Which is good.
So anyway.
Well, and you already know mine is, I don't know if I'd want to play it or not.
Maybe we'll try it out when you come visit next year.
Yeah.
We can see if you like it or not.
Yeah, because I did enjoy the way the characters looked, the way everything was done, the humor. I enjoyed all of that.
The slapsticky stuff was a lot of fun. It is goofy, fun, and once again, the whole environment really crafted well. I think if you were being hypercritical of this, you would say that you would want a longer game with more stuff to do and more planets to explore. But I'm enjoying my time with it for what it gives me. So
yeah, as it should be.
And hopefully Raccoon Logic will come up with something that's maybe a little bit more in depth in the future. We'll see. I'm eager to see what they come up with. So
right.
Anyway, well, thank you, audience, for joining us for this special review of Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Yeah. Now we're into 50s movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Horror movies. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, audience, for joining us on this week's episode of the Too Vague Podcast. My name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.